Shalom, Yasharala. This is your brother Abaniah coming to you with another lesson to the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. But first, we give all honor, all glory, all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Hukah, HaKodash. Double honors to our apostles, prophets, and teachers of Great Millstone who do rule well. Peace and salutations to the sincere Akim and Akwat who follow this truth in all diligence and all sincerity. Now, I have a video here to play for you. And this video is somewhat heartbreaking because it's a constant reminder of the injustices and the afflictions that our people suffered at the hands of these Edomites. And as the scriptures say, the Lord did not sold us to these nations for our destruction, but because we drove him to wrath and we sacrificed unto false gods. So, yes, Jake is the apple of the Most High's eyes. And because of our disobedience, he punishes us as any father punishes their children. But these people always takes it too far. And they seem to think that money can wipe away their evils. They seem to think everyone is like them. That money is the be-all and the end-all. They constantly steal from you. Constantly steal from us. And they think they can wipe away the transgression by flinging a little money at you. These people are truly disgusting. Now listen to the question. Do you think it's money that's hard to find, or is youth more precious? Because what you're going to realize, this gentleman was wrongly imprisoned for a crime he did not commit. To the point where you see he's in old age, have to be wheeled in the courtroom on a wheelchair. He lost the best years of his life spending it in prison. And this is not something uncommon. This is something that is happening to our people every single day for hundreds of years. This is nothing new. Let's play the video.
After 46 years wrongfully imprisoned, Isaiah Andrews was declared innocent. How will the government compensate him? At 30, Isaiah Andrews was incarcerated for a murder he insisted he didn't commit. Despite his pleas, no one believed him, and over time, his hope faded. But just as he was about to give up, new evidence emerged, proving his innocence. Students, professors. This revelation was a ray of hope, leading to a retrial. After a tense legal battle, Ohio acknowledged a grave mistake. Isaiah had been wrongfully imprisoned. In court, Isaiah's lawyers and the state attorney's office discussed his future and compensation for the years lost. The judge declared Isaiah wrongfully imprisoned, entitled to seek restitution. Standing in court, Isaiah's eyes glistened with tears. He said little, knowing he couldn't reclaim the past, but could start anew.
You know, even the narrator of this clip is getting on my nerve. He stands in court with tears in his eye, knowing he couldn't reclaim the past. How would you know how he felt? These people always seem to know everything, boy. They know how we feel. They know what we need. This is the pride of Esau Edom. This man was wrongfully convicted for a crime which he did not commit. Sentenced to an unjust sentence. And if you look, this gentleman looks like he is in his 70s. Imprisoned at 30. Look at how much years that... these people seem to think that money could purchase everything. They seem to think they could buy you with money. I'm sure anyone in that situation would have preferred not to spend over 40 years in jail as opposed to getting money. That man could come out, let me say he get a settlement of $100 million. and die before you even get to spend a single penny. Scripture says, for the love of money is the root of all evil. These people love money. And it is because of their love for money, they seem to think they could buy anything. They could buy your silence. They could buy your loyalty. They could buy your freedom. They could buy your life. I'm fucking disgusted at these Edomites. And yet it have Jakes still fighting to save them. Want them to be a part of salvation. These people have no remorse. They have no sympathy. These people are the devil that the Bible speaks of. Let's get Exodus 21 and verse 16. It says, and he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. And that's what they did. They stole this man and put him in the prison system for a crime he did not commit. That is trafficking, human trafficking. The prison system has been constructed to put our people behind bars. The prison system in America is nothing more than a legal institution of human trafficking. The trafficking of Jakes. Wrongfully convicting them and imprisoning them. And using them as cheap labor. This whole prison system is a money-making venture. It's a way to keep slavery going. Slavery was never done away with. It was just rebranded and repackaged. And you're seeing it. A man was unjustly imprisoned for a crime he did not commit. Spent all his life, the best years of his life, in a jail cell. And he had to think at that age, they could simply come and give him some money. That's what this system does. The whole prison system is built upon, making slaves of men. Using them as cheap, free labor. Just reading it one more time. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. There's a lot of innocent Jakes in prison for crimes that they didn't commit. So when Yahushua returns, he's going to find some Jakes in prison. I'm not saying every single one of them is that we say totally innocent. But most of them are innocent of the crimes that they were convicted of. Let's get Exodus 23 and verse 1. It says, thou shalt not raise a false report. Put not thy hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. And we know Esau is as unrighteous as they come. He's a slanderer. Making false reports is the way they do things. And if you notice with Esau Edom, he always elicit the help of other wicked men like himself, eliciting their support to help him to carry out his unrighteous decrees. It says, thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment. So do you see all these unrighteous decrees they're decreeing, the things they're doing to imprison our people, to use them as cheap, disposable labor? Because why is the prison system always full? Why is it always overcrowded? Just as it was on the slave ships, where a constant fresh batch of slaves needed to be brought annually. That is what the prison system is. The prison system does not focus on rehabilitation and reintroduction into society. The whole purpose of the prison system is to make repeat offenders, keep them as repeat offenders, to keep the demands of the prison system going. Let's get Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. You know, look, do a Google search. Do some research and you're going to see a lot of Jakes was in prison with little to no evidence linking them to the crime. Simply because a Edomite said, well, he dies the person. Men was convicted on that. Men have been convicted and sentenced to 30, 40 years for a crime, and they wasn't even in the state when the crime was committed. This is how serious and unrighteous these people are. And the scriptures say, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. And as I said earlier, one of the most unrighteous person that have is Esau Edom. And he decree unrighteous decrees each and every time. It says to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people. And that is what they do. They take away our freedom. They deprive us. They accuse us of crimes we didn't commit, place us in prison and make money off of us. That widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless. So when you have a father placed in prison for a crime he didn't commit, you think it's only the father affected? The house is affected because now that woman does not have a husband to provide, to protect, to care for, to look over. Right? That woman have no defense. She's now a single mother. And as a result, you have her children growing up without their father, growing up without that nurturing, that guidance, that protection. So that home becomes vulnerable. That home has now become the target of Esau Edom. This is why Esau Edom have launched that attack against the home to remove the man out of it. By removing the man out of the home has now become vulnerable, open to attack, to be preyed upon. So they rob the children of their father, the time with their father, the teaching, the guidance, the nurturing, so they can make money off of them. So the Lord said, destruction on them that decree unrighteous decrees. These are the type of people that they are. Micah chapter 2. Micah chapter 2, verses 1 and 2. It says, woe to them. You see again? Woe to them that devise iniquity, that work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hands. And who has power on the earth today? Who holds sway over the earth and is responsible for these unrighteous decrees, these false imprisonment of our people? It's none other than Esau Edom. It says, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses. A man is the head of his house. When you take away that man out of his home, what do? You leave the home broken. And take them away. So they oppress a man and his house. So, as I said earlier, it's not the man alone affected. The wife, the children is affected. They oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. So these children is going to grow up not knowing who their father is. If they, let me say for instance, they take the father away before the baby is born, or they take the father away when the children are little and the father spend 30, 40 years in prison. Chances are these children don't know their father. And these children grow up with a grudge and a hatred, not really understanding why this happened to the father. You know, folks teasing them, because we know our people could be mean, very mean to each other. Teasing them, you know, like, hey, your father is a jailbird. And you know, the children could grow up with hatred. And that child grew up with a resentment and a hatred of not having a father around. That child, too, could become a product of the system. That child can actually go down a pathway that leaded them to crime. And as such, leading them to crime, they could come on another statistic and be part of that same prison system that is geared towards making our people cheap, disposable labor. Revelations 13:10. Let's get that. Next precept, Revelations 13:10. And we, the Israelites, are the saints. And that's what the scripture tells us. And this is what these people are terrified of. It says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. That's what they constantly do, our people. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. We waiting for Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai to come and to render justice upon these people. For far too long, you know, as the scripture tells us, the souls of the slain are at the altar of the Lord, crying out, how long? How long, O Lord? Till thou avenge us on our enemies. And the Lord, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, hasn't forgotten, because even Yahushai himself is going to avenge himself on these people for what they have done. And it's sad to say, it won't only be heathens, it's going to be 2/3 of our people. Because our people, 2/3 of our people, the rebels of our people, have joined hand in hand with Esau to oppress, to do evil against the brother. It's our last precept, Jeremiah chapter 6. Verses 14 and 15. It says, now, remember in the video, they acknowledge that he was wrongfully imprisoned. You know, they stole the best years of his life. Now they're saying he's entitled to compensation. Could that money purchase back the time lost from family and loved ones? Could that money buy back his youth? Could that money buy back his next... Whoa! Next breath. Could that money buy back his next breath? No, it can't. It says, Jeremiah 6:14. It says, they have healed also the hurt of my daughter, of my people, slightly, saying, peace, peace, when there is no peace. Were they ashamed when they had committed abomination? Of course not. They're not ashamed that they imprisoned him for all those years. You know, he could carry them to court and go through a long, lengthy court battle and not survive to see the end of that situation where he receives his money. Because look at his age. It's clear he is advanced in age. Nay, they were not at all ashamed, neither could they blush. Therefore they shall fall among men that fall. At the time that I visit them, they shall be cast down, saith the Lord. Salakia, you know, I had also answered that call there. Let's go over verse 15 again. It says, were they ashamed when they committed abominations? Nay, they were not at all ashamed, neither could they blush. Therefore they shall fall among them that fall. At the time that I visit them, they shall be cast down, saith Yahweh. So, this demon is going to pay for all that he did. You know, let me just get one more scripture. Obadiah 1 and 18. Obadiah 1 and 18. I'll start from verse 17. It says, but upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance. Mount Zion is talking about the Israelites, Israel. And there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. And all of this is going to start with the elect in Israel. 2/3 of our people at this time are going to perish and die, and going to be reborn in the kingdom. Ultimately, every Israelite will be in rulership over the heathens. But there is going to be a hierarchy in the kingdom. It says, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau. For Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai had spoken it. Great is Yahweh, great is Yahweh Shai. This is your brother Abaniah of the Trinidad GMS Camp, Heralds of Yahweh Shai, saying Shalom till the next lesson.